Welcome to Devils in Red 59. My name is Steve, and today, the 1st of May, is the start of competition days. We'll be announcing a little bit later in the video what the question is and give people chance to obviously win a t-shirt and a baseball cap each week. As I said before, the question will be on a Friday. You will send in your answers in the comments, and it will be announced on a Sunday afternoon as to who the winners are for each baseball cap and each t-shirt throughout the month. So we'll go into that a little bit later. Just coming up on a little bit more updated news on really running on from yesterday about the manager situation with Iriola from Bournemouth, as him being a main contender in with Michael Carrick for the position of the Manchester United manager's job. Obviously, Ineos did say that they were going to get the best in class, and information coming out today seems to suggest that Iriola is not really considered to be the best in class. He's a young manager. Yes, he plays an exciting style of football, very much like we've seen at Manchester United before, with wingers and fast pressing. But it's felt that he's early in his career. I think this is only his second job in management, and with very little funds and not very big names in the Bournemouth side, he has produced a good level and standard of football, which is very exciting. And I think if he continues on this path, uh, over the next few years, then yes, he could well be a contender for Manchester United. But it's felt at the moment that he's not really any more experienced than Michael Carrick. Michael Carrick has come in as an interim manager, having been a manager at Middlesbrough, and yes, he did get sacked. But he's come in as the interim, and he's delivered more than what the club were realistically hoping for. He's ground out the results. He's got us in a good position for Champions League. We're now only 1 point off that. We've got Liverpool Football Club coming to Old Trafford on Sunday. It's going to be an end-to-end game, I think, because obviously Liverpool are still in contention for Champions League football, so they've got a point to prove. And obviously Michael Carrick, he will want to cement that game with hopefully a 3 point victory, which will more than cement our position in the Champions League. So I think the games then after that, should we beat Liverpool, we may see a few of the younger players come through and a bit of experiments going on as the pressure's off and we've cemented the position in the Champions League football. That may be the case. It may not. He may still want to finish with as many points on the board as possible and obviously stick with the side that he's been playing pretty much since he come in. It's looking like that Cunha will be back in the side for the Liverpool game, which is good, because I think it's a game that Cunha will thrive in. Obviously, when he played against Liverpool earlier in the season, he did have a good game. So, I think it's the sort of games that Cunha will want to be involved in. But as I say, it is looking like at the moment he will be involved in that. I think there might be still a small question mark over whether Luke Shaw will make it, but I would think he will. And I think Carrick will stick with the side he's pretty much been playing over the last few weeks. The question mark is, will he start with Sesko, or will Sesko be on the bench and he starts with Mbeumo up front as a false nine with Ahmad on the right and Cunha on the left? That remains to be seen. But obviously, as it's going to be an end-to-end, more open game, it could well be the game for Sesko to start, providing we can get them crosses in and give him the opportunities in Liverpool's box. But again, as I say, we'll have to wait and see on that. Little bit of transfer news. Obviously, Tonali at Newcastle still seems to be quite high on the thinking, as it came out yesterday that it's very unlikely he'll be going back to Italy because obviously his transfer fee. It's not felt that the Italian league will, sort of entertain that sort of transfer fee to bring a player in. Um, and it's felt that he is more likely to stay in the Premiership, wanting to play for a Champions League side. So obviously that's where the connection comes in between him and Manchester United still. Obviously, where the question mark is raised is Manchester United prepared to pay 100 million or somewhere close to 100 million to bring somebody like Tonali in as the main signing, but he's probably going to want to be, at least in the area of 250 to 300,000 pound a week, and I think that is going to rule him out, in my opinion. As we know that Ineos are moving away from the big wages. Kobe Mainoo's just signed his new contract, which is believed to be in the order of £150,000 a week. And I think that Cunha and Mbeumo, when they sign their contracts, are probably in the order of 180 to 190 maximum a week. So I don't think Manchester United will be wanting to go over that £200,000 a week mark by any means. So, you know, it's one of them situations really that who are we going to get? Are we going to get, a surprise midfielder that's quite a big name that's done it at various clubs that's prepared to come in and get paid probably less than £200,000 a week because he purely wants to play for Manchester United. Again, we'll have to wait and see because there's that many names being banished around, and it changes on a daily basis. So again, we'll have to wait and see what happens there. A little bit more transfer news that's come out today is Defoe, the left back at West Ham. Apparently, Manchester United have got a keen interest in him. I believe he's 21 years of age. But again, another question mark for me is obviously he's another player that if he comes into Manchester United, he's likely to be involved in the African nations. And, we already had three players away in the African nations last season with Mbeumo, Ahmad, and Mazraoui. So, we can't afford to be losing 4 or 5 players for a month to go to the African nations. So obviously we need to realistically be aware of that when we are going for our potential targets. Obviously, players that are being linked to Manchester United, various outlets are looking at their injury records over the last few years. Some of them are good, some of them are not so good, and some of them are quite bad. I think we should be looking at what makes Bruno tick because it's very rare that Bruno Fernandes misses a game, and since he's been at Manchester United, I would be surprised whether he's missed any more than about 4 or 5 games over the years he's been with us, probably totally no more than about 6 or 7 weeks. So somehow, some way, we need to find players more on Bruno's scale that are not so injury prone and they can turn up every week and do the job that we're paying them for. But that's about it so far on an update on the managers and transfers. So obviously we're going to talk a little bit now about the competition that starts today for the Devils in Red 59. If you haven't already, please smash a like, share the video, and get into the comments. The question is a one question but 2 parts. So the first part, when you answer the question in the comments box, you need to put it down as Q1A, which will be question 1A, which will be for the Devils in Red t-shirt. And the second part of the question, when you answer it, you need to answer it as Q1B, which will be question 1B. Okay, so that's question 1A for the t-shirt and question 1B for the baseball cap. Now, just to give you an insight, if you can see that, we've got the Devils in Red 59 logo on the left-hand chest, and we've got the 1958 Munich air disaster clock on the right-hand breast. So it's quite a nice t-shirt. Obviously, that will relate to question 1A. And then the baseball cap, if you can see it, it's a self-adjusting at the back. Get it out. You've got a strap on the back here, as you can see, so you can alter the size of the baseball cap, making it bigger or smaller to fit your head size. And as I say, you've got the Devils in Red podcast logo on the front. So without further ado, as I say, please smash a like and share the video and get into the comments and subscribe, because we are trying to build up the numbers on this platform, and it's very much appreciated to the ones that have already subscribed. So please continue to do that. So here we go. As I say, the question is a two-part question. We will be asking it now in two parts, and what you will need to do between now and Sunday is obviously put your answers in, whether it be for the t-shirt on Q1A or whether it's for the baseball cap on Q1B. But you must, in your comments, when you go into the put your answers into the comments, you must actually put Q1A for the t-shirt or Q1B for the baseball cap. Okay. Right, here we go. The first part of the question is, what year was the club first founded and what name did they actually go under? So what year was the club founded and what name did they go under? That is the first part of the question. Answers in the comments under Q1A for the t-shirt. Question 1 part 2, which is Q1B in the comments for the baseball cap, and the question there is, what year did the club change its name from what it was in 1878? What year did they change their name to the current name of Manchester United? Answers in the comments again. Q1B for the baseball cap. What year did the club change its name to the current name Manchester United? What year was that done? So get your answers into the comments box. We will cut it off at 12 o'clock midday on Sunday. So you've got from now till 12 o'clock midday Sunday to get your answers in. And it will be, the winners will be announced on Sunday at around 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So as I say, I'll just repeat those again. What year was Manchester United first founded and what was their original name? So if you want to get the t-shirt, that is the question for the t-shirt. Q1A in the comments box along with your name. The second part of that question is, what year did they change their name to Manchester United as it's been known from then to today? And that is for a baseball, and you put in the comments Q1B for the baseball cap along with your name. The cut-off will be 12 o'clock on Sunday, and the winners will be announced at around 3 o'clock on Sunday. So thank you very much for watching the previous videos. As I say, we are trying to build a community here, so please smash a like on the video. Get into the comments if there's anything else you want to know. If you don't want to enter the competition and there's something else you want to know, get into the comments. Please smash a like, subscribe, and share the video because it all helps. Thank you very much, and I will speak to you all again on Sunday. Thank you.